Today marks 1 year of the assassination of Department of Home Affairs whistleblower Marumo Phenya. His assassination has still not been solved till today, after getting death threats for blowing the whistle on a questionable multi-million rand tender at the Home Affairs Department. The businessman was shot and killed. To discuss this further, I am joined by his widow, Johannah Phenya, and the family lawyer, Montjane. Thank you so much to the both of you for joining us. I just want to start with you, Sis Johannah. Looking at the fact that this hasn't been sorted in a year, it's been quiet. How have you been coping with, not receiving any assistance or justice?
Good afternoon, Masero. It's been hard. It's been a roller coaster. It's been a year without closure, without justice.
And I know that he had just dropped off your child at school.
Yeah.
How is your child doing?
The kids are not okay. They take it just, day by day. But they are not okay. They are still devastated. I mean, you can imagine hearing about the death of your dad after dropping you from school. It's been hard on them.
I mean, you just saw him, you know what I mean? It's one of those situations. Ms. Montjane, for you, I mean, looking at the fact that Johannah and her husband, I believe you were celebrating your 16th wedding anniversary when you received a call from a Kolani who told you about a death threat that's coming, etc. Isn't that evidence that could be used?
Well, thank you, Marcel, and good day to you. Well, it is. There is generally a lot of evidence that the police can look into that direction. Well, there is telephone calls that were made, the pictures that were taken from the premises of Johannah's house. Those pictures are there with the police, the phone records, the voice notes that were used. And, well, it is just a question of what exactly is it that they want. I mean, we've been waiting for a year, and my worry now is that we are getting to a standard where a case of 2014 gets tried in 2023. That cannot be the standard South Africa wants to set. I mean, a year later we do not have anything, nothing at all. And when I say nothing, I mean even the investigating officer of this case that does not inform Johannah of anything.
Of anything?
Yeah.
That must be painful. I mean, for you, Johannah, we watched the State Capture Commission of Inquiry, etc. We listened to different ministers, even the president, encouraging people to become whistleblowers so that government can deal with corruption. But do you feel as though those whistleblowers that are encouraged to come forward are well protected?
No, not at all. If you become a whistleblower, you'll be on your own in this country because you'll not be protected. I know that you won an award just very recently for your IT company. Yes. And at that particular award ceremony, the keynote speaker, I believe, was number 2 of the country, Deputy President Paul Mashatile. You were scolding on government. You had every right to be, in terms of how they didn't protect your husband and how they're not giving you and your children any closure since then. But you were made promises by the Deputy President of meetings with the Deputy Minister of Police, Castle Motale. You were promised meetings with the Hawks, etc. Has that happened? Yes, I did meet with the Deputy Minister of Police. I met with General Libya, but nothing happened after that.
Is it? How long ago did you meet them?
I think it was around March, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
And since then, all it was a meeting to appease you. Do you feel like it was just to appease you?
I believe so. I believe so, because the IO has never reached out. I think the last time I spoke to the IO was in February.
Mr. Montjane, what would you advise her to do? Private investigation maybe at this point?
Well, but that is the thing that we cannot
keep absolve.
We cannot absolve the state from its responsibilities. We do not need to go to private prosecution, private investigators. We do not need that. All that we need is competent police officers that are there to do their job. And well, the surprising thing is this. Even if there is nothing that they are finding, why will an investigating officer take 9 months without speaking to the complainant? I mean, that is wrong.
And I think in this state, at this stage, with what your husband was allegedly killed for, we're saying allegedly for now because they're still investigating, the state should also be a complainant.
Well, it is. It is. I mean, that is their main predominant. Well, they're inclined to do that in law. That they need to investigate these cases. They need to prosecute people. But up to so far, we do not know anything, and we are not even getting any feedback from the IO. When every time Johannah goes to them, they are telling her that, well, she's on leave, she's always doing this or that. Anything except focusing on the case at hand. And this is 12 months down the line. We have nothing.
Tell me something, you know, was there any evidence that your husband left in the house that you've given to these police officers?
We gave them everything before he was assassinated. They had the evidence.
So they even had the warning?
Yes. I mean, we gave them the recording of the calls. We gave them the evidence of the corruption that was uncovered at Home Affairs. Even the Home Affairs officials from the DG, we gave them evidence.
And I mean, for me, Mr. Montjane, that would be quite obvious because you look at the evidence, you look at who, that's just me, you look at who in the evidence that your husband put together, a dossier, I would imagine, who that tender was going to benefit, and you investigate those people, right?
Well, we thought that would be the first step of the police to investigate this case going in that direction. And we have pictures of the people that allegedly, well, we assume that they're the ones that committed the offense because they are the ones that threatened. We have those pictures. I mean, what more do the police want? I mean, we have pictures of people that we assumed committed the offense. We have evidence relating to the corruption at Home Affairs, and we know who was involved because there were internal disciplinary hearings. People were found guilty, some ran away. We know what happened.
So we know who the individuals are.
The question is, why then are we here today, 12 months later?
Do you not fear for your life? Because, I mean, they, for lack of a better term, took out your husband and father to your children. And now, you know, with your continuation, which I want to repeat, you have every right to seek justice. Do you not fear for your life, your children's lives?
I do, because after my husband was assassinated, I was being followed. I had to stop the kids from going to school because they were following them to school.
And I mean, how did the kids react to that? I mean, school is also about socializing with your peers.
It's been devastating to them. They are not living their lives like normal kids. They don't go to the movies. They don't go to the restaurant. They are always indoors. And they live like prisoners.
Yeah. And I can imagine as a mother, you don't mean to do that, but it's the anxiety.
Yeah.
So where to from here, Mr. Montjane? What do we do? It's been a year. We might see another year.
Well, all we have is hope. I mean, we cannot afford to go a private investigation route. That would be very expensive for her. More particularly that the breadwinner has been taken out. We will have to push the police at all costs. We need to do everything to make sure that they get to the bottom of this case. We are not going to stop until we find justice. And that is what we want. I mean, you have a wife, 3 kids that have lost a father, and they want answers. They can stall as much as they want, but this is not going anywhere.
And of course, we don't want to see another cold case and another long Senzo Meyiwa trial before we get to the bottom of what really happened. I'm so sorry about what you're going through, but thank you for sharing with us. Hopefully, in a couple of weeks' time, I'll be hearing from you from a different perspective, maybe some, not really positive, but at least to know that somebody has been arrested. But I'm sure you want the masterminds to be arrested too, not just the people who pull the trigger.
Of course, yeah. And we know who it is. So we just want justice and we want him to be arrested.
Sure, it's even scarier hearing you say that and chilling to say that you know who it is. Thank you so much for coming into studio. Hopefully it's sorted. Johannah Phenya, she is the wife to Marumo Phenya, that whistleblower who actually blew the whistle on a multi-million rand tender at the Department of Home Affairs. He was killed last year
today, last year, was the day he was killed after dropping off his kids at school. And of course, we spoke to the family lawyer as well, Norman Montjane.